This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The 46th session of the Human Rights Council commences today. The Foreign Minister will address the session tomorrow. The first meeting on the investigation committee of the Easter Sunday attack meets today. A common alliance as Tamil National Front will be established. COVID vaccines will be given to those over 30 years of age in Colombo and the Gampaha districts. Examination Department says amendments to the OL admission card carried out online. Construction work at the Minipiyo, the Alley Development Project, is in the final stage. In world news, British Prime Minister to unveil cautious plan to lift the England's lockdown. The 46th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council commences today in Geneva, Switzerland, as will continue until the 23rd of March. UN Human Rights Commissioner Michelle Bachelet is due to present the proposal against Sri Lanka tomorrow. In response, Sri Lanka's Foreign Affairs Minister Dinesh Gudavadara is scheduled to address the Council online on Wednesday regarding Sri Lanka's position. Reportedly, United Kingdom, Canada, Montenegro, Northern Macedonia and Malawi are planning to bring a joint resolution against Sri Lanka. Mr. Dinesh Gudavadara said that plans have already been made to effectively deal with the allegations levelled against Sri Lanka. The Cabinet Subcommittee appointed to study the recommendations of the Presidential Investigation Commission report, appointed looking into the Sunday attack, meet the first time today. The President has appointed the subcommittee to study the facts and recommendations included in the report thoroughly. Leader of the EPRLF, Suresh Premachandra, says a common alliance will be established as the National Tamil Front. The support of representatives of the Tamil National political parties in the north and the east will be obtained. Initial discussion in this regard was held in Jaffna last weekend with 10 political parties of the Tamil political parties. Deputy Director of Health Services, Dr. Hemantha Herath, said that COVID vaccine will be given for the people over 30 years in Colombo and Gampaha district. He requested the people to meet the zonal head medical officer if there's any other disease to obtain the vaccine. State Minister Domingo Dissanayake has observed development activities in Minipiyo, the Ala and Minipi Anicut. The Mahaveli water supply will be supplied to 7,500 hectares of farmlands through this project. Minipiyo Anicut was constructed in 1948 and reconstructed in 1980 for the last time. Therefore, complete development was not carried out after 40 years. The objective of this project is to supply water for cultivation activities without hindrance. The government is spending 2,000 million rupees for this project. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
Three persons have been apprehended in the Puja Pitya in Kandy with 311 gloves pertaining paintings of the religious symbols. Police media spokesman DIG Adit Rohan said tattoo gloves had paintings of religious leaders as well. Meanwhile, an individual who was in possession of a stock of books that were due to be distributed among low-income families within the Government Municipal Council has been arrested. 519 COVID-infected cases have been identified this morning. The most cases were reported from the Colombo district. Operational Centre to Prevent the Spread of COVID-19 said 102 COVID cases were reported from the Colombo district. Overall, infected cases reported from the country exceeds 80,000. Among them, around 74,000 patients have been recovered. Centre pointed out that nearly 5,000 cases are receiving treatment in hospitals. Another 10 deaths were reported this morning, therefore overall death toll stands at 445. Specialty Doctor of the District Regional Epidemiologist Vinura Singharati said 25 persons have died due to COVID infection in the Gaur district from last November up to now. And that ends local news for now.
Darling, our daughter has top O-level results. Do you know what this means?
Yes, just 3 years and she'll be going abroad for her degree.
For which we'll need a bank loan.
But is a normal loan the smartest option?
What else?
The smartest way is to start an HDFC Smart Goals account.
Let your child begin their degree with no delays. Start an HDFC Smart Goals account. Call 2356 888.
Honey, you're so smart.
HDFC Smart Goals. All it takes is 3 years.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. SLBC, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. SLBC, the Vedha Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by SLBC Vedha Mahatmya.
Department of Examination stated that all arrangements have been made to commence the GCE O-level examination from March 1st. Committee General Examinations, Sarath Putit, has said that the training of the examination of staff for the exam has been completed. He added, there are plans to set up 2 special examination centres covering all districts. Meanwhile, candidates who sit for the O-level examination have been given the opportunity to amend the inaccuracies of their admission card through the website of Department of Examinations. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by SLBC Vedha Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from SLBC.
On to Watchlight, Railway Department has announced the railway line from Kurana and Nigambo railway stations will be closed from 8 a.m. on Friday to 8:30 a.m. on Sunday due to development activities. During that period, train operation between Katanayak and Puttalam railway stations will not be operated. Trains will be operated only from Colombo Fort to Katanaka in Puttalam railway line. So that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
British Prime Minister to unveil cautious plan to lift England's lockdown. Military leaders must release Aung San Suu Kyi, says Rob. Afghanistan's Ghani sees a window opportunity for peace process. All schools in England are expected to reopen on the 8th of March as part of the Prime Minister's cautious 4-part plan to lift the coronavirus lockdown. Boris Johnson will share his finalised roadmap with ministers today before unveiling it to the MPs and leading a news conference. It is understood that up to 6 people or 2 households could be allowed to meet outdoors for the 29th of March. Rules will be lifted in phases and 4 conditions must be met at each stage. Leaders of Myanmar's military coup must release democratically elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi, UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab will say later. In a speech, Raab will call on the military to step aside and respect Myanmar's democratic process. It comes after at least 2 people were killed in protests against the coup, the worst violence yet in more than 2 weeks of demonstrations. Mr. Raab said the shooting of peaceful protesters was beyond pale. Reacting to the deaths on Twitter, he said, "We will consider further action with international partners against those crushing democracy and choking dissent." Afghanistan's president said there is a window of opportunity to accelerate the peace process following NATO's announcement that it has made no final decision on withdrawing troops. Ashraf Ghani made the comments in an exclusive interview with the BBC. The NATO military alliance has close to 10,000 troops in the war-torn country. Under a US-Taliban deal, they were due to be withdrawn by May after 20 years, but are concerned that Taliban violence could intensify. And back to the headlines of the world news. British Prime Minister unveiled cautious plan to lift England's lockdown. Military leaders must release Aung San Suu Kyi, says Rob. Afghanistan's Ghani sees window opportunity for peace process. That was World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development news. The construction of Sri Lanka's largest fishing harbour with an investment of 9 billion rupees in Gandhara Devinura in the Mathura district has commenced. Karthik Wijesekara, State Minister, told media on the sidelines of a factory inspection to Sri Lanka's canned fish manufacturers test group in Paligoda last week. That is development news. On to sports news. The India 2020 team for England tour hasn't been announced. 5 T20 matches and with the two nations are to be played. The tournament will begin in Ahmedabad on the 12th of next month. Virat Kohli will be the captain for the tournament and Rohit Sharma will act as deputy vice captain. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
The Sri Lanka Embassy in the US said in a statement that Sri Lanka and the United States have explored the modalities to encourage exports of more Sri Lankan products to the US under the Joint Systems of Preferences GSP arrangement. As the US Trade Representative USTR for South Central Asia and reviewed bilateral trade and investment relation between the two countries. That was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
Business deals now easy. It just takes a few taps only. Anytime, get it done, all connected. Best discounts with real time. LOLC Real Time. Now download LOLC Finance Real Time app for your LOLC savings account. Attractive interest rates, transactions anytime, anywhere with a zero cost and more benefits.
Under directives of the Monetary Board, export firms will have to remit proceeds of their shipped goods within 180 days of export. Exporting companies will also be compelled to convert 25% of their export proceeds into Sri Lankan rupees. To ensure compliance, exporting companies will have to submit all related document evidence in each and every receipt of export proceeds to their respective banks. That was economic news.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down. Everything is sorted. Why? I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on to the weather. Met Department said several spells of showers will occur in the eastern, Uva and north central provinces and the Martale and Nuwara districts. Short thundershower will occur at several places in the western and Sabaranga provinces and the Galle, Martha and Kent districts during the evening or night. Fairly falls about 50 millimeters can be expected in some places in these areas. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaranga, Uva and western provinces and Galle and Martha districts tomorrow morning. That was the weather report, and back to the headlines of the news. The 46th session of the Human Rights Council commences today. Foreign Minister will address the session tomorrow. The first meeting of the Investigation Committee of the East Sunday attack meets today. A common alliance, the Tamil National Front, will be established. COVID vaccines were given for those over 30 years of age in Colombo and the Gampar districts. Examination Department said the amendment to the oral examination card carried out online. Construction work at the Minipay Youth Area Development Project is in the final stage. On World News, British Prime Minister unveiled cautious plan to lift England's lockdown.